from. And as a big sister who was there before all these guys were born, so I think I would have all the information that you guys are looking for, okay? So this is what happened, guys. One thing you guys have to understand is my family is going, the problem that's going in my family is it's not something that started with Mary. It's something that started with my mom when she was still younger, you know? So it's like a generational curse that is following a generation in the future, you know? So basically what happened is that my mom, as a 14-year-old, she got raped with me. Just like my sister Mary got raped. Okay? My mom got raped at 14 years old. And when she got raped, her family forced her to stay married to our dad, to my dad. My mom, 14 years old, my dad, 17 years old, they got married, okay? My dad was a drunkard, a smoker, a cheater, everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, like, my mom has never been lucky with men, period. Even her mom also got pregnant with her out of the wedlock. Like, her mom used to work in club and got pregnant with my mom, but unfortunately my mom came out crippled, you know, and so her mom disowned her and literally threw her in trench where her grandmother went to pick her, and then her grandmom raised her. So you understand, this is like a pain that has been coming from generation to generation, okay? So my mom's mom threw her in trench because she can't raise a crippled child. So her grandmom picks her up and raises her. Long story short, my mom grows up, you know, because they have forced her into this marriage. So my mom keeps, you know, giving birth because she's only 14 years old, guys. Like, what is she gonna do? In the village where she grew up from, they don't know anything about family planning, like nothing. You know, she was in the village. So if she sleeps with this man, of course she's gonna get pregnant, okay? So that's why she kept giving birth when she was in that marriage. And then she gave birth to the 5 of us. So in that marriage, like me, Jeremiah, Mervielle, Dorcas, and Jemima from that first further. And then what happened is that, so when my mom was 24 years old with 4 children, guys, imagine 4 children. But the thing is, whenever my mom, now she's like 19 years old, she has like only me and Jemima. The life was very difficult in the village where she was with the grandma. And then the grandma told her to go look for a job in the city. So my mom relocated with me and Jeremiah, went to her cousin's house to go serve as a maid. So as my mom was there, you know, working as a maid, my mom was mistreated. My mom was beaten. Sometimes she used to cook food, and I just remember being as young as I think 3-4 years old. My mom cooked food that her cousin did not like, and her cousin literally took the food and poured it in her head on top of beating her. And then when, you know, the grandma had come to visit us, when she spoke out, she was like, you two, I'm gonna add you and beat you, or take your child and take your grandchild and be with her. Like, why are you at my house? Because you guys are broke, you know. This is the humiliation my mom went through. But long story short, my dad, okay, my mom helped my dad, who gave birth to us, get a job in the government. Like, my mom, she has really toiled in this world. She was younger, but she really worked so hard to provide for 5 children, a woman under 25 years old, guys. So you can imagine. But anyways, this is not even about her. I'm just telling you guys the genesis of where our generational curses are coming from, just so you guys can understand the story better, okay? So now, okay, my mom helps my dad get a job in the government. My dad gets a job, he starts working. But guess what? The end of the story, my dad cheated with the lady who used to watch us when my mom went to work. And then my dad ran away with that lady, impregnated the lady, stole all my mom's money. And now guess what? My mom is back to square zero. This is when my mom, now, because my mom used to work as a maid, like I told you, to her cousin's house. But long story short, okay, first forward, God blesses us. War starts in Congo, and then we relocate to Uganda. I'm 7 years old. Gemma was only 5 years old. Dorcas was 1 year. Sorry, Jemima. 5 months old. Dorcas was 1 year old. Thank you for the correction. Dorcas was 1 year old. Okay, now my mom starts toiling, but because we did not know the language, so we started sleeping on streets, begging for food, begging for money, so we could bring money to our mom to buy milk, for Jemima, who was a baby. But long story short, my mom, finds this church. Then she finds a man. Now here she's 25 years old, and she finds a man which is our stepdad. So my mom, she falls in love with my stepdad because he was a pastor. So my mom thought, okay, maybe because I got married, or I got forced to stay married to a drunkard, a man who raped me, maybe this man is a pastor. He's gonna do better. He's gonna be a better person. So my mom got married to my stepdad. Okay. So now when they got married, of course he was always evil. He used to beat my mom. He's very manipulative. All those negative things. Even me and Jeremiah were so mad that my mom was getting married to this guy, but like, hey, we were just young. What could we do? Long story short, fast forward. Okay, this man is in our lives. I'm 8 years old. I see him as my dad because I don't have another dad. So I mean, he was so friendly. He would take us to school. I got so much attached to him because he was so loving. But little did I know that this guy is literally showing us this love so he can wait for me to get my period and then come and ask me, Wani, like, do you know how to kiss? Like, have you ever gotten your period? I'm like, I was just like, what, wait a minute, like, what's going on? It was just that one night we were sitting in the house, and then, she's like, hey, Wani, are you busy? I'm like, no, I'm 14 years old here. And she's like, I want to talk to you. And for me, I thought he's taking me in the front of our house. It was dark. In the front of our house to go sit with me in the dark, to talk about school, to talk about if I'm fine or not, because like you guys, I grew up depressed, just like my other sister. They have scars. Our stepdad has not been the best dad that anyone could want to have. But anyways, but they're also, of course, once in a while he'll do the good things, but honestly, the scars we have, they outweigh the good thing. That's for me what I would say. But long story short, he takes me in the back, he goes to talk to me. I'm 14 years old. I'm thinking, okay, did I do something wrong? Like, why is he pulling me out in the dark to go sit outside and leave everybody else in the house to go talk? So anyways, I go sit there. He gets a chair, I get a chair, and then he's like, so I went to meet a doctor and I need to talk to you about something. I need you to be mature in this topic, okay? Because I'm trying to help you guys. You guys are refugees, and I need to help you. And since you're the firstborn, I think, you have the brain to understand. Then you will help your siblings, because I've always believed in you, Wani. You're such a smart girl, and I know you're the right person for me to talk to, okay? And I'm like, like, I'm all ears, like I'm listening. He's like, all right, I went to meet with a doctor, and the doctor said that, in order, because I asked the doctor, Wani, how I love you so much, and I really want you guys to be my children. So in order for me to be your dad, because you're the firstborn, the doctor says we have to sleep together. The doctor says we have to sleep together so that your blood and my blood can be the same. And because you are the firstborn, when you guys go to get checked, they're gonna find out that you guys are my children, because now your blood is giving the same blood as mine. To me, those things were not making sense. I thank God, because I had a mature mind at such a young age, and I started reading the Bible when I was very young. So it's like he started bringing Bible topics, try to justify what he was saying. But for me, immediately when he started, telling me about the doctor wants us to sleep together, guys, I started shaking. I'm like, what is going on? This person, I used to look up to him. My stepdad was like my idol. And that's why today I don't really be idolizing pastors anymore. I'm sorry. Like, I see people going to church, like, oh, daddy musum, baby, chibi. Guys, I'm traumatized with pastors. I'm traumatized. Like, I almost even gave up on God because of just my dad. If my stepdad the man who raised me since I was 8 years old could sit down and start talking things like this to me. The one I always told myself when I grow up, I want to be like him. I want to talk about God like him. I want to love God like him. I want God to use me like him. He's the one sitting here talking to me about sleeping together. Long story short, I told him this is what was going on in my head. At 14 years old, I'm shaking, and I'm like, okay, like, Dad, I know, like, you love me, and you know, like, you and I are very close, and that's why, like, I feel bad to say no, but the truth is, do you remember the story of Lot when Lot's when Lot's children, girls, slept with their dad and they got pregnant? And when he was like, yeah, of course, I know about that. I know about that. But the Bible says, whatever 2 or 3 people agrees, God is with them. So if you agree to sleep with me, you're not sinning. You're not doing anything wrong. And I was like, nothing made sense to me, okay? And then Rachel was like maybe 2, 3 years old by then. Rachel came outside and met us sitting in the dark with him, and it was like, Daddy. And in my head, I started bawling, like tears just started falling on my face. I'm like, God, if this was my real dad, like the way I see Rachel coming here, Daddy, like, would this man be sitting here talking to me like this? If this was my real, like, why do we have to go through this? Like, what? So much things started happening. I started admiring Rachel. I wish I was Rachel. I wish this was my real dad. He wouldn't be talking things like this to me. But anyways, long story short, I told him, but you say if we sleep together, right? Your blood and my blood are gonna be one. But what we learned, you guys know, in primary 7, they already started teaching you about sex, about sleeping together. So now here, I was 14 years in Form 1. So of course, I already learned about those reproduction systems. So I'm like, to me, I was like, so how does us sleeping together make your blood and mine, mix? And I told him it's not making sense. And then the other thing I told him as well, that, okay, Dad, I told you that for me, since I was younger, very little, I told God I will never sleep with a man. I want to get married when I'm a virgin. Like, so do you want me, like, to ruin that, to ruin that? And he was like, no, I'm not gonna kill your virginity. Like, I'm just gonna put it in, this is TMI, but like, he was like, I'm just gonna put it in, and when you feel pain, just tell me so I can pull out, and then, I'm gonna pour the water on the ground. He's talking to me. I'm 14 years old, guys. And the water he's talking about pouring on the ground, I don't know what he's talking about. But anyways, long story short, and he was like, have you seen your period? I'm like, yes. And he was like, oh, okay, that's good. Do you know how to kiss? I'm like, no, like, I don't. He's like, it's very easy. I'm gonna show you. So what you do, like, you take your tongue out, and then, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna, you're going to, my head was not there. I'm like, God, what is my life? What is going on? This man is pulling out his tongue out to show me how they kiss. I said, all right, did you talk to Mom about this? Like, because you say that the doctor said that we should sleep together, okay? So did you talk to Mom? Does Mom know about this? Because I'm very sure that Mom would also want us to be protected and not be taken back to be deported to Congo because we are refugees. And she's like, are you dumb? I thought that you should be the smartest child I know. Like, now you asking me that I should talk to your mom. One thing, your mom did not you know, they're saying put me on the big screen. One thing you have to know is that your mom did not go to school. Your mom is not educated, and that's why I brought you here, Wani, because you are smart, you are educated, and you're gonna understand these things. And I know as a firstborn, you have so much love for your siblings, you will do anything to save them. And I was like, okay, cool. I understand my mom didn't go to school, my mom is not educated, but like, at least you need to talk to her that, you don't want us to get deported back to Congo, so we need to sleep together so our blood, we can be your children. And then he was like, you know what, because he saw me starting to ask so many questions. He was like, I'm not. Why am I even bothering? I'm not even forcing you. One thing I'm gonna do for you is because it's nighttime. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you the doctor's paper, and then you're gonna see everything. You know that the doctor says. I'm not lying. Like, why would I be getting to lie? And by the way, why would I even get you pregnant? You know how much I love you. I'm not gonna get you pregnant. You know, I told you guys. He said he's gonna pour the water on the ground. So I told him. And then end of the story. Once I heard that my mom is out of this, I just knew, like, yeah, this man is up to to something. And I told him like that. I am really sorry. I am so grateful for everything you've done for me. I just wanted to ask you, like, if I say no, are you still gonna be visiting me at school and just being there for me? Because guys, I'm gonna tell you, to be honest, like with you, my mom, honestly, she has always been the breadwinner of the family, like or workaholic, working hard. Like my mom is barely at home, but she always provided everything we needed. There is no single day they chased us from school because we lacked school fees or we didn't have. My mom was always on time, paying school fees, everything. My stepdad was not doing anything. He was just there as a support system, which it should be the opposite. My mom should be the support system, but she was the breadwinner of the family. Of course, she didn't have time for us. My mom, we had like Twaina Bakozi, we had maids at home who used to cook food, who used to wash clothes. So my mom trusted the maids to watch us, to look over us because she was always busy, okay? But long story short, I told him, like, Dad, I know the sun is too much here. Like, I'm bothered by it. Do you guys still hear me? Sorry, I'm gonna put this jacket here to block the sun because it's bothering me. Okay, much better. But anyways, guys, so I told him, like, no, Dad, like, wow, I'm losing my mind. But anyways, I told him, like, okay, Dad, are you gonna still be there for me? Are you gonna still support me if I say no? He said, of course, I'm not forcing you. I'll show you the paperwork. And I told you, like, I was saying that my mom, she has been busy. She was always out and about, because she was the breadwinner of the family, even though my stepdad should have been. But anyways, long story short, that's what happened. That's where all the things started from. Guys, so the thing is, here it comes. Like, did you tell your mom? Okay, so my mom, like I told you guys, this is a generational thing. My mom has been hurt, okay? You cannot show people love that you've never experienced, that you yourself do not know. So for me, as a mature person now, like, I understand her, why she raised us up the way she raised us up, because our mom has never been there for us emotionally when growing up, but she provided, she gave everything we needed. So, and that side, I really blame her, but I really blame her because I felt like growing, even when, guys, let me tell you, when I was 12 years old and I got my first period, okay? I got my period and I kept quiet at first. I didn't talk to my mom about it because my mom, I think because of how she was ripped with me. So to me, I grew up feeling like maybe because I was a mistake, she was ripped to have me. Maybe she sees that I ruined her life. Maybe that's why she treats me the way she treats me. Because I don't know, I feel like every little thing I did, like, my mom would just be on me. Like, I did not have breasts at 11 years old, but sometimes when I would be in the living room playing with the Jemimas, my mom would be like, like, what? Why are you, like, you're too grown to be jumping? Like, like, I'm only 11 years old. My mom is telling me that I'm jumping breast. Like, I'm just like, what did I ever do wrong to this woman? Like, I'm only 11 years old. I'm just trying to be a child. You get what I mean? And to me, I just felt like, like, maybe she hated me because I was a mistake. That's how I grew up feeling, and that's why when I got my period at 12 years old, I did not go talk to her right away because I've just never had that relationship with my mom, of girl daughter relationship, never. But I kept quiet. But then anyways, as a child in boarding school, you reach a time and be like, damn, these pads are so expensive, I need to talk to this bro and start giving me money to buy pads. So one day when I came back from school, I went to her. I told her, mom, like, I'm like, I need to speak up. Now 6 months later, I was like, mom, I want to talk, I want to say something to you. And she was like, mm-hmm. I said, mom, I got my period. My mom was like, she kept quiet. And then she was like, Kati, what do you want me to do? Guys, I was like, who told me to speak? I didn't be enjoy getting like, who told? I should have kept quiet, but I need money to buy pads. And it's time for me to go back to school because I was in boarding. I went to boarding since I was 9 years old because I was just tired of the family drama. But anyway, I just wanted to be by myself.